Welcome to the big story this morning. On the big story, it's about the presidency and the opposition in fresh political drama. And now the opposition parties under the banner of the opposition movement in Nigeria have rejected the 2026 Electoral Act, describing it as an anti-democratic and a threat to free and credible elections. At a press conference in Abuja on Thursday, the national chairman of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, G. Ahmed, speaking on behalf of the coalition, alleged that the new law was designed to weaken opposition parties, compromise democratic institutions, and entrench one-party dominance. Let's take a listen to the opposition voices that spoke yesterday.
That the new Electoral Act is anti-democratic, and its implementation will undermine electoral transparency and sanctity of the ballot box. It is part of the ongoing design by the Tinubu-led APC administration to disorganize and weaken of the opposition, corrupt the electoral system, compromise democratic institutions, and foist a totalitarian one-party rule in Nigeria.
Let me say or advise that the speech delivered by the chairman of NNPP be sent to all the embassies, particularly the Western democratic embassies, as the position of the Nigerian opposition political parties. What is the problem with transmitting results instantly? Why is it a difficult issue? Unless there is something there that the rest of all don't know. And of course, there must be something. We can see it from FCT election. Level of thuggery that has been introduced into politics now. It has never been this much. But their desperation won't take them too far. As you heard from the address, we're prepared for the shenanigans.
Insecurity, killings and abductions is worse than even countries at war. Just in the past 1 week, 34 in Kebbi, Wednesday, Thursday, 50 in Zamfara on Friday, and today, even while we're speaking today, over 20 already in Adamawa.
I was in government in Buhari's time. Buhari wanted electoral reform. So a few ministers went to him, convinced him not to sign, that if he signed, Russia will hack the system and impose the wrong president.
You've heard them from Peter Obi to Amechi to Atiku to the chairman, G. Ahmed. And now, the presidency have reacted to the recent criticisms surrounding the Electoral Act. They have cautioned the opposition political parties to stop constant lamentation and unwanted outrage against the Electoral Act and the All Progressives Congress APC. The presidency said the opposition, particularly the African Democratic Congress ADC, has turned irresponsible political statements into an art form, all in a bid to attract cheap headlines and mislead the public. Mr. Bayo Onanuga made a press statement just a few hours after the opposition coalition gathered together to reject the new Electoral Act. You can just put that up for us to read Mr. Bayo Onanuga's press statement. And they said some prominent figures led by ADC and NNPP gathered in Abuja today and made reckless, spurious allegations against President Bola Tinubu and the APC-led federal government. The opposition, particularly the ADC, has turned irresponsible political statements into an art form, all in a bid to attract cheap headlines and mislead the public. Working in cahoots with some civil society groups, the opposition has waged a relentless war of disinformation against the National Assembly and the administration, making false allegations in a bid to impose their will on Nigerians and the legislature, the arm of government constitutionally empowered to make laws for the country's good governance. In response to the realities of our country, The National Assembly enacted an amendment to the Electoral Act that allows for the real-time transmission of election results and the use of Form EC8A as a backup in the event of network failure. Any responsible Nigerian understands that network glitches are a real issue. The 2026 Electoral Act does not prohibit real-time transmission. It simply stipulates that if transmission fails, the result recorded on Form EC8A shall be deemed valid. Moreover, the role of IREV must not be misunderstood by the opposition. IREV is not a coalition center. It is a platform for uploading results for public viewing. During their press conference, opposition parties also rejected the use of direct primaries as a means of selecting party candidates. We find it perplexing why the opposition is crying over the inclusion of direct primaries and consensus voting rather than the corrupt delegate system they prefer. And this press release go on and on, reacting to what the coalition opposition in Nigeria have said, that they want a re-amendment to the electoral law. But then, President Bola Tinubu, during an interfaith break of fast with senators, said, look, you're accusing me wrongly of killing the opposition. You are totally wrong. He said, I don't have a license to a gun, so how am I killing the opposition? Let's take a listen to the president.
What they call you, any name, any nickname, critics must talk. When they accused me of killing opposition, I didn't have a gun. I could have given myself a license when I have the authority. But I can't blame anybody from jumping out of a sinking ship if they did. What we have faced that in the challenging period of this country, the terrorism and banditry is causing us the havoc. And we should pull together, unite in a way that our forefathers contemplated to bring about a constitutional democracy and pull us together. They didn't say we should fight. It's a good thing that we are working in harmony. We are looking for a country.
All right. So that was Mr. President. Now the question is the opposition complaining too much? Are they too critical of the ruling party? Is democracy under siege in Nigeria, just as some of them, like the likes of Atiku Abubakar, saying that democracy is under threat, is under siege in Nigeria? What is the future of opposition parties' involvement in election in Nigeria? That's our conversation this morning as we weigh the pros and cons of this new battle between the presidency and the opposition. And I have my colleagues right there, Samson and Ifoma, well seated. It's a Friday morning and we are ready to kill it.
Hi.
Yeah, right.
Hi, Pri.
So I've been starting with you, right? So I'm going to start with you.
Right.
So I'm going to start with Ifoma today.
Okay.
So Ifoma, the opposition, they have rejected the Electoral Act. We all thought that this issue have
Been settled.
It's done and dusted, you know. But yesterday, I don't know what display of unity, who suggested the idea to the opposition. They came out in unison to say that we don't want this new Electoral Act. It's already compromised. It's going to distort democratic institutions in Nigeria and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Are they complaining too much?
No, they are not. They are not. The only concern I have personally is they would have voiced earlier than now, because what the ruling party is going to hold on to is, I mean, you people didn't say anything before now. But is this in any way anti-democratic? To a point. Yes, we understand that the ruling party is talking about, you know, the possible challenges the nation may have during this election, you know, making do with what we have, how we used to do it so that it will be easier. But what they don't know is that democracy, or rather what they have forgotten, is that democracy is still for the people, by the people. So I think the opposition, they are not complaining too much. I don't know the possibility of them achieving what they are agitating for, but then the ruling party describing them calling for a change as noise making should tip them off of what maybe, I mean, they are not even shaking. They may not consider what they are saying. And the day is going by. I mean, February will be ending very soon, and we are moving on to March. Before you know it, 2027 is here.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point why I said they would have voiced out earlier. And may I note that, all of a sudden, this, you know, NNPC,
NNPP.
NNPP rather,
right.
and ADC coming together as a body. Now they have formed a body. That says a lot, actually.
Samson, we've seen opposition politicians in Nigeria, Nigeria to get it. Mr. Peter Obi just a few days ago escaped assassination.
Yep.
Mr. Akpata as well for ADC,
Labour
Party, to the ADC, and then we have El-Rufai still in custody, and a lot of people who were formerly, you know, or no longer within the ruling party. Doesn't this point to, or doesn't it point accusing fingers to the APC that they are the ones strictly behind? Because I mean, look at what happened to Mr. Peter Obi. And there are people of Edo State, they come out to say that he shouldn't have come into...
You saw that tweet, right? Of a member...
Yeah. He said... I think so. I wish I have that tweet.
Yeah, Rufai said that if this guy is not questioned,
I mean,
then
he should be questioned. So don't you think the opposition are actually making sense with all of the noise they are making in recent days?
Yeah, of course, they are making sense, okay, but we as it stands right now, maybe fate just aligned, kind of, okay, to make things happen in such a sequence that it would seem as though it's the APC who is behind all of these things. But regardless, thank you. Regardless, I would suspect the APC for being behind a lot of things that has happened, such as the attempted assassination of the ADC presidential aspirant Peter Obi. And then also, now let's bring it back down to the fact that they are making a whole lot of noise about the Electoral Act amendments. Electoral Act. It's actually an act now. Now, I feel that they are not making noise. They are making noise, but not useless noise, actually, because it's what many Nigerians are still doing presently right now. It's just that they don't have much of a platform except social media now to make all of that noise. But as it stands right now, I question a lot of them who are inside the opposition now joining in this noise. I suspect a lot of them that if they were in the ruling party right now, they wouldn't be making this noise, such as Amechi, such as Atiku. You know, a lot of them inside that party, such as David Mark himself, right? A lot of them inside this opposition are making this noise because they are not in the ruling
They're not part of
right
those
now.
sharing, dividing the national cake.
Exactly. That's how I feel. Okay, so what they should be doing right now, as Tinubu suggested to them, is they should go home and tidy up. Right now, as it stands, they have their options. Bayo Nanuga said they should channel their grievances to the Senate, to the legislature, and not be making all of this noise. They have their options. They should try and exploit these options. Although, judging by the time frame we have now, before the next election, it's too short of a time for them to channel their grievances.
Do you know, I think...
And the process takes a long time, actually.
We know how much it cost us as a nation before we pressured the Senate to act on the electoral bill before it became a law. It took months of deliberation, consultations, the judiciary, INEC, and other, social groups also came together to work on these, then 2022 before it became amended in 2026. Now, I think it's okay to come out in a joint press conference to disagree about the electoral law, right? It's okay to say that we don't like this. But at this point, it is not realistic to call for a reamendment.
See, now the thing is, it is so possible. It is so possible. But unfortunately, like you said, it's not realistic.
Yeah. Because the Senate will not.
The Senate will not.
They will not.
By
That's
the
the truth.
way, the Senate is APC dominated.
Yeah.
And so the time frame is too short.
It's
so
not even about being APC dominated now. When you look at how much of time it took them, do you say that whatever happened that led to this law, they should push it aside?
So now
all of the deliberations, all of the consultations,
now, Chris,
because it doesn't suit you.
You talk about deliberation. You talk about people it didn't please. We all saw what transpired in these deliberation when they were talking about it. Take for instance Ben Carlu's display of something he should be hiding his face in shaming.
Just impunity.
Right? So, and why opposition and Nigerians at large are still kicking against this electoral act is because of the hastiness, not just about the president signing it into law. It's about not giving space. Even during the deliberation, it was still being hasty.
Okay, well, it's about the presidency and the opposition in fresh political drama. The opposition are saying that, look, the hasty nature of the electoral act, the electoral act is already compromised. The presidency is saying, look, ADC, keep quiet. You're making too much noise.
It's the noise for me.
This is not the time to, deliberate. And we're saying that when you consider the nature of the nature of the way the electoral act was deliberated, the clause of real-time transmission of election removed, does it suggest that something is fishy ahead of 2027? Is the opposition complaining too much? Is the ruling party afraid of criticisms? Well, and I was saying that before the break that what the opposition should be thinking of right now are alternatives on how to counter what has happened. That's if they believe that something fishy is going on as far as the Electoral Act is concerned. Now, I think they should find a way which, well, to the best of my knowledge, they have tried, but just few persons are actually doing that. They should try to mobilize the Nigerian people to come out and vote. Because the APC, whether we like it or not, I think it was either you or you that said, the APC is working so hard.
Their strategy is top-notch.
Top-notch. How come Nigerians are complaining that this administration has plunged us into debt. You know, people are dying almost on a daily basis, like we see on the headlines every day. But when it comes to election, they still vote for APC. How? So,
you see,
that's the question we must answer.
Now you see, by the way, who else in the APC is a presidential candidate? Nobody except the president. Okay, good.
So they have a focus.
They have settled themselves. Now see, Bayo Onanuga turned the tables around and was mocking the opposition, saying that they are aggrieved because now it is direct primaries, no more delegates, no more indirect primaries. So that is hurting them so much. Yeah, because the APC right now knows that as far as the opposition is concerned, look at PDP. It is divided.
In shambles. Thank you. That's
exactly. Now look at the ADC. There are plenty presidential candidates. Up till now, none has been decided upon. You understand? So by the time you come down to direct primaries, there's going to be chaos. But as per APC, wow, they're already settled. And in fact, even though it's direct primaries, which means every member in that party, whether thousands of them or millions of them, will vote for one person.
It will even be a plus for, I mean, APC, they are, sorry, I didn't mean to interject. They're actually hoping that Nigerians don't turn out en masse.
Exactly.
You mean the APC?
Yeah. The APC, yes. And to come 2027, I mean, it will be making their day.
It will be.
Right?
Certainly.
Because the fact is, like Samson said, up till now, we don't even know who is the flag bearer of this opposition. We don't know.
We don't know where PDP is.
That's all.
Maybe you do.
I
and you know,
don't.
part of what Nigerians are murmuring about is if APC, the ruling party, has hand in what is going on in other political parties. Because, I mean, even if they do, it is also their strategy, maybe planting people who will cause chaos in those political parties, that by the time they are finished, sorting themselves out. I also saw in one of the papers where Makinde is still gearing up with Wike. That's still happening in PDP. By this time, an opposition like PDP.
It was the same Makinde that said that Wike is working for APC. And
I mean, Wike is not hiding it.
See, I think the APC should put this Wike matter to bed once and for all.
That is why people are saying that they are sowing the seed. They will go and plant somebody that will scatter the party, so that by the time you people are trying to, come together as a party to know what you are doing,
division.
I mean, APC are moving on. APC.
It's troubling, it's disturbing that such a thing is happening within the Nigerian political parties, where I consider it anti-party. Look, you can't be a member of a party and you are working for another party. You are working against your own party.
Obviously, you are not hiding it. Like, it's
do you know that in the area council election, some people dropped for the APC?
Yes, from
PDP
the opposition party.
PDP members,
obviously.
Even after some people won, they also
So
went.
this should be a lesson to this coalition of the opposition that they didn't realize what APC was doing early. They didn't realize their strategy early, because up till now, they are still not, they are still not ready. If I use that word.
They are not ready at all. And what I would just say right now is for them to go back and mobilize their supporters, okay, because the only way, now, a key figure, I can't remember what party exactly, okay, but he came out recently and said something that if the APC could remove the ruling party, PDP, under Goodluck Jonathan back in 2015, then the APC should not be carried away and be thinking that it is unremovable, for lack of a better word. Because it all depends on Nigerians. Eventually, Nigerians will get to that point when they cannot. Now, it seems like there is voter apathy right now. This recent by-elections showed showed that.
Yeah.
Okay, that is why I would require that these opposition figures, Atiku, Peter Obi, taking him out. He already has a very strong and active fan base right now. Amechi, the rest, David Mark, they should go back and mobilize their supporters. They should also go back and decide, put aside personal ambitions and focus on who has the strongest fan base, which I would say right now is Peter Obi, and stand behind him, mobilize their supporters, and
put the numbers together.
Eventually whip their emotions up, okay, in favor of of Peter Obi. That way, Nigerians would come, and regardless of anything, whether from EC8A, the votes would be overwhelming. The votes would be overwhelming that forget it. Cheating cannot even come to play.
I just think it's not putting their house in order.
You never can tell. You never can tell.